Over here. Yeah, you, over here. Sorry, I'm hiding from them. They can't know I'm here. Oh no, I hear them. Here they come. No. What a terrible intro to a video. Anyway, hello guys. It is me, Jackal, once again here, and today we're doing something a little bit different. I know I kind of say that a lot, but this time it actually is different. And a few days ago, I was wondering, what would happen if Europe was to have a do-over, and they could colonize the Americas, both North and South, any way they wanted to once again. So I figured, I have like over 200 hours in a god simulation game where you can do just that, so I'm doing just that. We're going to see what happens, what new countries are made, and what new countries decide to colonize. Because honestly, in this version, you can see all the names of the countries here. Everyone really has a fair shot. England has a port, Scandinavia, Norway has a port, Iceland has a port. They could really do anything they wanted to. And I decided to also throw in and allow them to recolonize Africa. And Africa's had enough of European colonization, I know, but I was like, it would help spice up this video a bit more. And I did the same thing with Australia and all of Southeast Asia. So I'm gonna get right into it, and remember, this isn't going to be accurate at all. Any country could colonize any country. Turkmenistan could genuinely colonize America if they wanted to. Anything is possible. I'm just here to watch. And by the way, once the whole world is recolonized, I may or may not try to see if they can stage a revolution and gain their independence. It's just my inner patriot talking to me. Anyway, let's get right into it. I am using the world map on the Steam Workshop, which, usually comes with the world, but I kind of had to massacre these countries a little bit. Guys, I'm really sorry about this. Yeah, I don't really have a choice here. It's for the content. I apologize. But I'm sure it's nothing to worry about. They'll be fine. There's only 32,000 total deaths in the world. Yeah, let's just get started. We're gonna press unpause. I'm on 20 times speed right now, and this is how fast my game is going because there's so many people here. Yeah, I'm just going to do a little skip until our first new village gets made, because yeah, this might take a while. It appears that Thailand has taken measures into their own hands, and now they have colonized pretty much all of Malaysia, and they're advancing into the Philippines in this area over here. Furthermore, Italy has been kicked out of Italy, and now they preside in Africa. Spain is also living here too, along with Israel, who is expanding their kingdom into Egypt and down. I'm sure that won't cause any conflict. Turkey has also maybe tried to reform the Ottoman Empire, but they've only taken part of what looks like Libya here. And Saudi Arabia has advanced into Ethiopia. But that's all well and good over there, but we're all looking for who's going to expand into the Americas, which could happen any day now. I'm excited for it. I like how the map maker, whoever made this map, just put a wall between like Maine and Canada up here. Oh god, I just realized that North Korea is here too. And they have taken over all of Korea. I really, really hope that North Korea doesn't take over the world. Also, I'm just kind of realizing now, but our world started in like year 9,250. So that's like a little inaccurate, only a few thousand years off. I think I have to take matters into my own hands right here. I'm taking this fishing boat and we're going all the way over to America right now. We are going to discover the new world. And here we are at Hispaniola, right? That's where this is. And on this land we can find WorldBox Columbus, a native to Portugal. Wait, wasn't he actually Italian? And now that he has actually discovered the America and he's fighting cats, surely the colonization will begin now. Oh my, you gotta be kidding me. What are the odds? WorldBox Columbus is now the king of Portugal. This is clearly different from the timeline. I do see some people running around in countries like Australia. Like here we have a village leader from Sri Lanka. But yeah, I probably also wouldn't settle in Australia if I was them. I'd probably just, leave it alone. Oh my god, finally! The first kingdom in America, right in the southeast, right in the south, heartland of America. What kingdom do we have here? I don't recognize this color. It is India! Wow, good for them. They're the first ones to colonize here. And they've already made a second village. They've already colonized like half the country. I wonder what they're gonna do with South America or even up here in Canada, because this biome's kind of hard to navigate. But that is really all that's going on right now. Saudi Arabia, Israel, Turkey, Italy, and Spain have just elongated themselves and are really just... I'm not quite sure why they made themselves this shape. And Thailand has taken over all of Southeast Asia right here. Good for them. And we finally have another kingdom expanding into the Americas, this time in South America. Once again, I don't recognize this country at all. Where is this? This is Norway. What the hell are these guys doing here? Well, I mean, I guess good for them. They're in South America. Quite a different climate there, but I guess, you know, they'll get used to it eventually. They're already pretty advanced. They already have a dock and everything. I just noticed this, but there's actually like only one culture, and it's Christianity, which, you know, nothing wrong with that, but I don't think that's entirely accurate for the whole world. And a few years have gone by, and it looks like Norway has pretty much taken over all of the northern half of South America, which is really insane. You know, this is probably the least likely country I could have expected here. But also then again, here's India. They don't make much sense either, and you know, they morphed into like, this is almost like the exact shape of the US as well. Like, don't you notice that? That's very weird, I can't lie. You know, I'm only kind of realizing just now just how much of a mess this whole world looks like. Shout out to the guy who somehow made this map a few years back, because I don't even know how he did it, because some of these kingdoms are literally just like one dot, like Slovakia right here. Ooh, and we have some double movement. This is like the first double kingdom in North America, both in Canada. I once again can't tell these colors at all. We have Ireland in central Canada. That's actually pretty impressive, considering I can literally count on one hand the amount of people who live here, and literally all their country consists of is a port and a pumpkin statue. Also, I like how even in this version they still can't control Northern Ireland. So they're just starting out, they're looking like they're doing good. There's actually a lot of people here, but who's this other kingdom belong to? Russia. Okay, this one is real. This one actually makes sense. If you don't know, I believe Russia didn't colonize much, but the only place they did colonize was Alaska. And then they sold it back to America a few years later, a deal I bet they regret. You know, geographically in the real world, this makes a lot of sense because Alaska is really close to Russia. But on this map in WorldBox, the two countries are literally as far apart as they can get. Even further than, oh wait, hold up. There's a new kingdom here in Australia. I missed that. Jeez, we're finally expanding a bunch. Who is this? Looking like paradise. This is China. China has expanded into Australia. Once again, not exactly the matchup I would expect, but you know, they're pretty close geographically. That actually makes a lot of sense, I can't lie. And we're kind of running out of room here for these countries to expand. It looks like Norway is going to get all of South America. India is still expanding into Mexico and the actual good part of Canada. Ireland has the lame part of Canada, and Russia has Alaska. But still, I'm going to give them a few more years to develop. Okay, and I think that's... wait a minute. Up here in Greenland? That's new. I didn't even think they could go up there. What country could we possibly have up here? I would think like Iceland, but the colors are different, so what could it be? Israel. Wow. Very controversial pick there. I'm not even going to comment on that because, you know, I might get flamed. I didn't think they were the Greenland type. I thought they were more of the desert Middle East type, but you know, whatever suits them. It seems like there's a lot of people just running around the most random parts of the country. Like seriously, like what is this dude right here from Saudi Arabia doing up here in like the no-go, like no one lives here in Canada? Or here, there's a king here. What is the king? Genuinely, what is the king of China doing up here on some remote Russian islands? And here is a person right here too. Seriously? Afghanistan? And you're on the southern tip of Argentina? That's like, oh, okay, whatever. It's just a silly game, you know. But anyway, I'm pretty sure that's all of the colonization we're gonna get. They're pretty much out of room now. So I'm just gonna give them a little time to grow and expand before we do that little revolution. Okay, so it has been quite a few years now, and the borders have pretty much evened out, and I'm not gonna lie, this actually looks decent. Like, I figured by the end of this video, these borders would look like some terrible border gore, which, you know, it's pretty bad here in Africa. Like, once again, I didn't expect Italy to make it all the way down here into, like, Nigeria. But, I mean, Norway, which is still weird to say, has all of South America. India has all of the United States, most of Canada, at least the part where people actually live, and Mexico and Central America. Ireland has most of Canada. Russia has pretty accurate amount of Alaska. I mean, this is like actually pretty accurate. And Israel has taken all of Greenland. Oh yeah, and don't forget about Chinese Australia either. You know, I'm noticing here, there's a lot more people in the colonized kingdoms than the actual kingdoms. Except for Russia. I guess that one's pretty different. And Australia too. You know, these wars are going to be pretty interesting actually. But anyway, these countries decided they've had it up to here. Just imagine me holding my hand really high with this oppression and such. I don't know. So all of these countries declare independence. And they form really cool names. Like Norwegian South America. American Indians. You see what I did there? Because, you know, people called them Indians, but they were really native. You get the idea. Now, tables have turned here. Potato famine. Alaska or something, I don't know. Northern Israel. And Australia. Or, I'm not, it's too late to change it now, I don't care. These countries banded together to form the Cool Countries Club. They are at war with all of their oppressors. But just to make things simple, I'm going to quickly get rid of every country not involved in the war so you can actually see here. And now I have made the borders in a much more accurate way. I've even expanded the countries to be more realistic too. I've even put them into a new country called the Colonizers. And I'm just beginning to realize that I accidentally got rid of Israel. That is a very weird sentence if that's taken out of context, but I genuinely just forgot about them. But I did leave Thailand behind because they're a cool country. I guess that's Israel's fill-in. So welcome to the Colonizers, Thailand. While this fight rages on, and yeah, it's brutal. Who's gonna win? The colonizers or the colonized? It's actually really even. Look at the population numbers there. This is gonna be really close. Seems like a lot of the battles are down here in Australia, while the Americas are relatively safe because, you know, there's a giant ocean in between them. Oh, troops have landed in Oslo. I think this is actually from South America, but I think they were able to be held off. Norway lives to fight another day. Yeah, I can't lie, I think the colonizers, for once, are actually losing. Russia is the powerhouse. Oh, there's another attack way up in Norway. But Norway's army's off guard because they sent all of their troops up to attack in northern Thailand. And Norway's down to just a couple people left, but I think they might have survived the attack. Australia's on their last leg here, just a couple people left. They're getting absolutely bombarded by this ship up here. You see them? Holy crap. Do you guys see that? This ship alone from Thailand has 152 kills. It is literally just spawn camping outside Australia, destroying the entire country. You know, let me take control of this myself. I would love to destroy Australia. Hell yeah. These boats are actually really cool. I love how you can play as them too. Okay, sorry, enough of destroying Australia. I'll let them do that themselves. It looks like some troops right here from, oh, the American Indians. They are now getting on a boat right now. I love how on the bottom you can see the boat storage and it's just a bunch of people right there. Wonder where they're off to. Holy crap, look at all these Russians right here in Europe. It feels like 1945 over here. Oh, that's because Oslo just got taken over by Australia of all places. You know, Australia, the kingdom with 9 people left. Well, that's pretty impressive, but now it's being retaken and it's now a Russian village. What? Never mind, back in Australia controls. Oh yeah, I forgot with all this empty space, now these countries can start expanding more. But if we actually look at the population of the two kingdoms, the Cool Countries Club is doing a lot better than the colonizers. Northern Thailand literally hasn't done anything so far. I wonder what they're planning. Holy crap, that's what they're planning. It looks like Northern Thailand sent a force into Siberia, while Norwegian South America sent a huge force into Oslo in Russia. And Moscow just fell to the American Indians, and so did Oslo. In the meanwhile, Australia fell to China, but New Delhi just fell to Australian Americans too. Oh, but they're losing the land. It looks like China now controls almost everything, but they're running out of people. That's the issue. But China and Thailand are the only countries left, and New Delhi was just straight up destroyed. It's gone. This whole world now is just a battlefield reaped with destruction and death. You know who's done nothing so far? Potato famine in Alaska. I get you're really far away, but come on guys, you can surely go do something, right? Holy crap, they're doing something. Oh, China just fell to the American Indians. Oh my god. This is pretty much it. Thailand's down to just a handful of people, and I guess Australia is technically still part of China, right? Oh, and a force is finally going into the countries, and that's it. The colonizers were destroyed, and for some reason the American Indians got all the land, but they did it. They won the American Revolution. The American Indians, the Norwegian South Americans, and all of them have killed everyone. Yay. Ugh. Oh, and yes, of course, immediately. And now these countries are starting to colonize back into Europe. Well, I'm sure that means this is the start of an endless cycle of revolutions and oppression. Anyway, that is where today's video is going to end. I hope you enjoyed. Make sure to like and subscribe if you enjoyed it. This was kind of a fun one to do. Also join my Discord, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Farewell.